Helen Keller says, if you lose a sight, not much of loss is done, but if you lose a vision, everything is lost. I do believe in this, and in 2012 when I authored my very first book, 24 Great Life, I mentioned over there illusion. Illusion for me is like ill vision. When your vision becomes crippled, then often leads to certain kind of catastrophe. हम अक्सर ये कहते हैं जब अच्छा काम करना होता है तो चलो इस काम का श्री गणेश करते हैं. So on this great occasion, once again, recalling one of the missions of my life, book reading series, and the intent and the objective was basically to sensitize people on book reading, because I feel that books are great friends and we are an average of our 5 friends. That's what Japanese saying says. And it's not just about assimilation of ideas or maybe enriching our vocabulary, but knowing the world and the way it's going on, and what we can avoid and what we can adapt. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this 106th book of book reading series, and today I have this wonderful book in my hand, Seeing What Others Don't. I repeat, Seeing What Others Don't, by Gary Klein. And now, who is Gary Klein? I think some of you, those who are into psychology, Gary Klein is a very famous psychologist. Okay, I'll read out a few lines about Gary Klein. And Gary Klein is a scientist, basically. I'm a senior scientist at Macrocognition LLC. He was instrumental in founding the field of naturalist decision making. And let me come to his books. He's the author of Source of Power, How People Make Decisions, The Power of Intuition, Working Minds, a Practitioner Guides to Cognitive Task Analysis. Yeah, we'll take you through the contents of this book. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Now, Part 1 is entering through the gates of insights. How do insights get triggered? Part 2 is shutting the gates. What interferes with insights? And it's talking about what's that which becomes a barrier when it comes to insights. And third is opening the gates, opening the floodgates, when it comes to insights, and how can we force the insights. Well, part 1, entering through the gates of insights, he is talking about hunting for insights, the flash of illumination, connections, coincidences and curiosities, and the creative desperation. Well, the logic of discovery, different ways to look at insight. This is a very interesting chapter. Then shutting the gates. We will pick up one of the chapters, here it is the study of contrasting twins, the stupidity. Dumb by Design, this is a chapter I really like. Dumb by Design, many times, this kind of way of generalized thinking, observation. We co-create certain systems, and those systems, if they are not upgraded with the changing times, they become obsolete, but we keep dragging that, kind of a dead system. So he says how to make it more useful, more lucrative, and more effective. In part 3, opening the gates, Gary is talking about helping ourselves, definitely, but helping others. Maybe we'll pick up 1 or 2 points when it comes to helping others. Yeah, helping others is very, very interesting, because I believe that when you help others, you are helping yourself when it comes to insights. Okay, so about no insight and gained insight. You see, no insight and gained insight. So on the left side, when it comes to no insight, it says gripped by flawed beliefs, and the gained insight is escape the fixation on flawed beliefs. That's what basically taking a quantum leap. I'm sure those who are into training and development business, or maybe leadership roles, or maybe otherwise, you know that a fish, as long as the fish is in water, she cannot mention about water, because she doesn't know what the water is all about. The moment a fish takes a leap from water, it takes a jump, maybe in that instance, the fish is able to look at, oh my God, this is what the water is all about, So we are indicating a quantum leap from me to be, from mortality to immortality, maybe, from being unconscious, into grip into the habits of pleasurism and so on and so forth, and taking a conscious leap. Now, the major leap is basically moving from being a slave to any kind of habit towards being a freedom fighter. A freedom fighter, in a sense, your own, you're fighting with your own demons. You like to conquer those demons and emerge as a winner. Lack of experience towards experience, passive stance towards active stance, concrete reasoning towards playful reasoning. This is very important. So lack of experience, it's okay, no problem, because many times we don't have an experience. But then what is an experience? Experience, again, if I may categorize into like unconscious experience, you are experiencing, you're like mulling over the same thing, like kind of a rumination, which cows and buffaloes and the cattle do that. The same thought coming again and again. But there is no newness because you are not ready to, newness, new thought, insight which can enable you to take action then and there. I call this the difference between information and insight. This is what insight is. Yeah. So insight should bring that kind of a spark in your eyes. It should kind of a wow, aha moment, and you should say, oh my God, this is what and you just do what you want to do, and it begins with the mind. Mutation in the brain. Yeah. And you are, then your passion supports, your heart supports. So this is what an insight is. So you should be doing very consciously. For example, you're listening to me. It can be heard in two ways, that you are hearing me, you're listening to me with your own logic, and you need to observe yourself that you are listening to me. Yeah, without any judgment, without any past baggage. Maybe you will be able to see things as they are, maybe for the first time. Here I would like to quote, being a movie buff, one of my favorite movies, PK. PK, Amir Khan's movie, he plays the role of an alien, and when he as an alien comes to planet Earth, he is looking from a very fresh perspective. Maybe a touch, for example, when we look at all the five senses, for example, touch. Me being a fitness freak, when I go out in nature, in outdoors, when I am putting my hands down on the ground for push-ups, I feel that my palms, my hands are touching the ground in a way that they are kissing the ground, and my hands are being kissed by the ground. So I have that kind of a connection. Here also there is one chapter in this book called Connection. So establishing a very playful, compassionate, loving connection. You recall a movie, Avatar, where they are about to ride a creature which can fly, and they are developing that connection in the movie called Avatar. Yes. So connection is very important. Like in fitness, people talk about a mind-muscle connection. I would like to introduce the third M. That's basically the machines. Being in the gym or something, when you are using those machines, basically the equipments, you need to connect with them. You have to fall in love with those machines, and then you should feel that they are the inseparable part of yours. And I think things then mobilize in a miraculous way, and it gives tremendous results. Like, it is not about blind conditioning. You are getting conditioned to that, but it's a kind of a love and respect to whatever you are doing. For example, different machines. For example, the phone. In the morning when I wake up, I bow down to my phone. I kiss my phone because it's the phone which connects me to different people. I'm able to converse with different people. It's a life. It's a life. So seeing what others don't. So you need to question very honestly why they are not able to see. What's obstructing, because of which things become very obscure. And oblivious, not obvious but oblivious. Sometimes the optics of the situation, because of the mob mentality. No, you need to have your own personal experience. Take a deep dive. In other conditioning, it could be kind of a gender, conditioning, that I'm a male and the other person is a female, and how I can talk so freely. Okay, have conversation, have respectful conversation. I don't think there is any person in the world who doesn't like to be respected, loved in a most respectful manner. You will connect with them from soul to soul, heart to heart. What's stopping you? The different kinds of conditionings, the upbringing, the social conditioning, the psychological conditionings, and the mental conditioning, your physical conditionings also. Either you shape up or you ship out. Love is the master key for me. It opens all the doors, it opens all the gates. Being in love, being in selfless love, in sense love, which is full of respect, care, appreciation,